that we're going to be doing later.
Thank you.
Oh. California roll. 老鼠粉.
Why California?
老鼠粉.
Oh. There's a back echo.
Okay, wait. It's
Oh,
me,
the back
it's
echo.
me. Yeah. Okay. So.
Okay. Well, back.
In the office, actually. Yeah. How can we turn this thing on? Shall we turn this thing on, Jason? Yeah. It's very dark here anyway. Yeah, let's just turn it on. Okay. So yeah, we wanted to talk about like the different possible Chinese New Year stories that you could actually write. Okay, and I think maybe y'all can let us know whether should we start this series called One Story a Day. This was something I keen to start. That means we will just post and share with y'all one possible story that you can write. We share our idea, but we're not responsible for teaching the entire story, okay? Yeah, that's what social media is about, right? Correct, yeah. So, because Agnes and myself, we really enjoy coming out with curriculums. When we first started out, right, we were sitting inside West Coast
McDonald's, I remember.
Wow.
Yes.
Those were the days, man, yeah, with our very heavy laptop. Back then, laptop is like about maybe 4 kg, 3-4 kg, right?
Yeah.
It's not light, you know. Yeah. Then the two of us will take bus. Take bus, right?
Of course.
Yeah, we take bus.
For me, it's always bus.
Yeah. Yeah. So we will take bus all the way to West Coast McDonald. Yeah. Then we will sit there and then we will write stories till no end.
And it's important to find a place with power socket.
Oh yeah. Correct.
That is always the tough part, you know, of working outside.
Correct. So it was just the two of us, I remember. Then we bought like, you know, giant Coke. The largest they could possibly sell us. Yeah, the biggest Coke. It will last us the whole day. When I say whole day, listen, the two of us will meet in the morning, like maybe about
8:30.
8:30.
Yeah.
8:30 a.m. and all the way to 8 p.m.
Yes.
Is the work very hard back when we were in our 20s.
You know, but when you're at that age, right, you don't really think about the time. Your body is very fit at point, right?
Correct.
The peak of your prime, you know, and you can work long extended hours without feeling tired. And the next day you can repeat this day after day.
The thing is, we repeated this day after day.
Yes,
it
for months.
Like, for months at end, you know. So it's not like just one day we go down and we work like that. We work non-stop.
Yes.
For months. Sometimes the whole project can take us about 3 months to 6 months.
Yes, because we're writing so many books then.
Yeah, correct. So that was how we actually come up with different stories. So what happens here is what I wanted to bring back, like, I asked Agnes for help, is basically one story a day, but we will share with you our ideas. So of course it's then for you to decide whether, you know, can you carry out the entire idea and then craft it into a whole story. So okay, I think hello everyone who are here. Yeah, so join us, okay? And then today we want to share with you how to write CNY stories, okay? And maybe we'll read a couple of paragraphs to you, of our
own stories that we are teaching our students here.
Are they favorites of these kids?
Well, one of them, yes, I know very well for sure, Festive Wheels. This story is actually on good deed. So it's a very flexible story because a lot of times in school exams, right, they will ask you to write something that's positive. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah,
and y'all guess what's the wheel? Yeah, y'all can try and guess what exactly is the wheel.
Wheels.
Yeah, correct.
Yes, so
festive wheels. So y'all can go and guess what's the wheel. Okay. Yeah. Why
Any change? Just extra mic. Okay.
Oh, okay. Hello everyone.
Okay.
Yes. So if you are here with us, thank you very much for being with us. Yeah. My hair. Okay, so I think let's not actually drag out too long. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and teach you, we teach the story that we talked about just now.
Ah, okay.
The-
Pussy Willow.
I think that one not bad, right? That one quite funny, right?
Yeah, that's cute.
Yeah. Okay, so let me demonstrate what is it like to do a keyword plot. Okay, so we demo that lah. Okay, so come. Those of you who are new to this, you can learn from this. Okay, then if you want to contribute to the keyword plot, go ahead. All right, can join us anytime. Okay, so come. So I'm going to teach this thing called, okay, what we call a key.
The words behind are not moving.
Oh, sorry.
yeah.
Yeah, hang on, people. Yeah. Moving now? I think so.
Nope.
Oops.
Wrong
Wait,
screen.
Did I get sign up?
I think, yeah.
Wait, hang on. Okay. Can you guys see it now? Or did I get thrown out of the Zoom? I think maybe I got thrown out of the Zoom. Wait, Can see from there, huh? Oh, can see already, right? Okay.
Okay, now yes.
Yes. So, keyword plot. Okay, keyword plot basically means to say that we draw a curve, right? And then we kind of like assume that we generally always go with about 6 paragraphs thereabouts.
Generally, yes.
Yeah, correct. So with 6 para, you more or less, you can kind of like just figure out roughly, what's that called?
Your structure is similar, right? You always start with the introduction, then you have the rising
correct.
action, followed by climax, falling action, resolution, conclusion. So it's roughly around your 6 paragraphs.
So intro, then
rising action.
This one is your rising action. Okay.
Climax.
Then this part is usually your climax. Climax will actually take 2 portions, thereabouts. Okay, then this is what we call your falling action. Okay, wait, falling action. And then your conclusion. Now, falling action can also otherwise be known as your resolution. Basically, you're trying to resolve the issue. Okay, so just now, for those of you who didn't hear us, because we happily saw the plant just now, and then I was sharing that IKEA is the cheapest place to buy pussy willow. Yeah, in my opinion, I think very cheap. It's about $18.90.
Oh,
sometimes can go as low as $12.90.
Right.
And it's a 1.8 meter kind of pussy willow. So it's very tall actually. So if you see, I stand up, right, I'm already about 1.66. So it's taller than me.
Oh,
so
you're only 1.6?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can stand up beside me. Yeah.
You know, can you sit down first?
Okay, I sit down, come.
Everyone thinks that I am the same height as Jamie.
Yeah.
Or
correct.
some people even think that I am
She's
taller than her.
Mm.
Okay, so you see our sit down height is like that already.
Yeah,
okay, but
correct.
of course it could be the chair, right? The height.
Yes.
But let's stand up.
Come, 1.
Miss Agnes is taller than Miss Jamie. Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
Ta-da! Can y'all see? I am actually way taller than her. It's called way taller, okay?
Yeah, but
those of you who don't know.
I don't know. Everyone thinks I'm taller than her.
Yes.
I don't understand why too,
And
but
it's throughout the company.
thank you for that compliment.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So what exactly is a keyword plot? So just now as I was saying, in my head, right, or I can imagine it's a comedy story. Yeah. So I imagine a very funny story, lah. Okay. So I will start with at IKEA shopping. Okay. Oh, must have
Very
character,
important.
right?
Chinese New Year. Which part of Chinese New Year?
Oh.
Prior to Chinese New Year, right?
Before Chinese New
Yes.
Year.
Maybe a week or 2. Yeah.
Okay. So before CNY.
Yeah. You
Okay.
must set your context. Otherwise,
Correct.
IKEA shopping can be a general day of shopping.
Yeah. Correct. So also must have characters. So usually inside when we plan story, we must have characters.
Your main characters.
Yeah, for this case, I put a I. Okay. Then I put dad. All right. So I have just 2 characters, very straightforward. And I'm planning a comedy, by the way, comedy. Okay. So IKEA shopping before CNY, the aim is basically to buy pussy willow. Yeah. Correct.
It can be going there for different purpose because I think people do go to IKEA to buy new furniture for Chinese New Year as well.
Yeah, or even like buying new cutlery,
Cutleries,
plates.
curtains,
Yeah, correct.
you know, your cushion covers, right? Yeah.
Or bed sheets, or that, just to make sure that you know you refresh, kind of like refresh your house before Chinese New Year.
So your mom already gave you a long list of your dad has a long list that you had to buy for your mother
nice
already.
One. Yeah,
right.
So that is already like in a very
it's always the Iron Man.
yeah, like kanchong state, you know. So he's like trying to gather all the things that, you know, mom have actually made him buy. Yeah. You are supposed to be there as an assistant, helping to, you know, check off the checklist.
Yes.
Okay. And you know, IKEA, right, is a maze to some people.
It's huge.
Correct. So now the question here is, Daddy is the expert around IKEA or I'm the expert around IKEA?
Who have not been to IKEA actually?
Yeah, so maybe you all can share with us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then those who have gone IKEA, do you go to which branch do you go to? The Tampines one or the Alexandra one?
Correct.
They look slightly different actually.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's very different. So you all need to know exactly, like, you know, imagine if let's say your dad go like, okay, we need to go and get the bed sheets. And then your dad say walk left. Okay? And then you can go like, no, dad, we need to turn right. Your dad go like, no, I insist we need to turn left. I'm very sure it's on the left. So these are what we call building blocks of the story. Okay? And they can form certain elements of the story that is funny. Yeah, at the start. What happened? What happened?
Okay.
Oh, it's send now. Oh, okay. We will respond.
Because I'm not on Instagram yet. Yes, let's see what is it.
Oh.
Oh, well, this structure is redundant. No, actually it's not, because composition structure is actually the same generally. It's just like math formula, you will not go outdated.
Correct. I
Right.
think even to write a prompt and make sure that chat actually churn out the respective intro, rising, climax, falling, and conclusion. Because if you yourself don't know the structure, right, then even if you write a prompt into chat and chat churn out a story that, in your opinion, you cannot even identify where the climax is and whether the climax is solid enough or not, right, then that's on you already, isn't it?
Now, of course, we are talking about primary school composition here for Singapore syllabus. Okay? All right. So, of course, if you're writing a compo or an essay for a different
uni,
different structure, then
yeah.
of course you have a different structure to follow. But in this case, for primary school over here in Singapore local context, this structure definitely still works.
Oh, yes.
And it's still applicable, definitely.
Correct. Very much
Yes.
applicable.
Yep.
Okay, so let us go on here. So IKEA shopping before CNY. Okay. So as I say, here itself, you can create kind of like a conflict. So between, like, you know, dad and you, who's more familiar with that. And then, so this is where you actually saw the pussy willow. Okay. So basically saw the plant, the CNY plant. Okay. And then that's when you go like, Dad, we should buy this. This is so pretty. So the question is, Dad agree immediately or not? So that's the next thing to consider. Okay, so here, okay, wait, I'm just going to erase this first. So here can be Dad disagree, right? So it's just a very simple plot. So here itself could have some point of contention.
Because you have so many things to carry already, he knows that, you know, it's not possible. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. So here itself is very difficult already. So now, climax how? Okay. So what's going to happen here? Come. Miss Agnes can help me out. Yeah.
Okay, so you must have bought the things. I mean, sorry, this part is have not buying yet, right? He disagree. Okay, he disagree. So you must convince your father you really, really need this.
Yeah, okay. Correct. So this part, right? Okay, because here itself, if let's say there's a conflict, right? You need to come up with there must be an outcome. So why is the climax here? It could be like the first outcome inside the story first. Correct, right? Yeah. So agree on no condition or agree on some condition.
Yes.
That's creating certain suspense even inside the climax of the story here. Okay.
So how are you going to convince your father you really had to buy this? Okay, and what is the condition that your father is going to put in place for agreeing to buy this now?
Correct. So there could be conditions or there could be constraints. So just now we were happily saying that it could be the car.
Yes. You know, you have so many things to buy already, the car is going to be fully stocked.
Yes. And then that expects you to basically be hugging onto the 1.8 meter plant.
Yeah, because he has to carry the rest of the stuff.
Okay, so here itself, let's change the color a little bit. So in an examination here, you can tell yourself, here's the car, journey, home. Okay, so hugging, wait, so here can be hugging, plant. Okay, so this itself here, what can we do? Here could be what we call a struggle. And this is actually where I'll put the comedy inside. Yeah, correct. So we were saying all about that, right? Inside the car. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, how with every bump and every jerk, you're hanging onto your dear life of the plant, to the
Yes.
plant's dear life, perhaps, not your dear life.
Correct. And then, the plants start falling off. And you need to understand, so here we can describe actually how fragile the plant is. Yeah, so you imagine like you being able to hang ang paos on it, being able to like, just roll streamers around it, how it would enhance the entire, ambience of the house. So in all your lovely imagination, right,
Yeah.
the snap,
Oh no.
I can feel the story.
Pain.
Yeah, that pain, right? Then the pussy willow just drop the seed or the flower, what do you call
Yeah,
it?
the
Just drop
buds.
off. Yeah, the
Yeah.
buds, right? Just one by one drop off as you go from maybe Alexandra back to Tua Payoh. Just that little journey. Yeah, correct. Okay.
And then you describe the bits and pieces stuck in your hair.
Very good. So here is where you could actually go with the plant got hurt. Okay? So in other words, right, all your plans for that lovely Chinese New Year decoration just poof. Yeah. All plans go off. Okay? So here I think buds got stuck in hair. Okay? So this is where what we can call the comedy element. Okay? That's where you put the funny element inside. Yeah. Then at the end, you reach home. So did the plant make it safely home with you guys? Yeah, that's the thing. Then could you still actually
Salvage some parts of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is it instead of
1.8, it becomes a what? 0.8?
table plant? Yeah, correct. That could be, so it could become a table plant. So maybe table plant instead. So there is still the CNY element. So I can still have a happy ending. Yeah. So actually, right, in conclusion itself, it's important to consider several different elements, correct or not?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, actually when you're writing for exam, this thing, bear in mind that. So what are the important elements we need in conclusion? Let's talk a little bit about that. Yeah. Maybe we get them to guess 4 elements.
Okay, sure.
Correct? Yeah. Come, any one of you there, you want to guess the 4 elements. So since you all are so good at writing, come, you all can guess for me the 4 elements of a good conclusion. Yeah. For story writing. Yeah, come. You got clues for them?
Well, you have to have some kind of lesson learned.
So one can be lesson learned. This word start with M. You all know the word? Anybody know the word? Start M. You all can try. I think Jean trying. How many letters? Wait, 5, right?
Yeah.
5, right? 5, right? Yeah. Correct.
Yeah.
5 letters. Yeah. Let's see who can try. Yeah. Okay. Then another one that if you are a PSLE student and if you are a PSLE parent, these are some tips that you can give your kids. Another one starts with H. You want that fuzzy feeling that will make examiner feel happy, that will make
Feel
them
good.
feel good. Yeah. So it's that sense of completeness of a story. Yeah, correct. That one, because these are elements that we teach our students, and honestly speaking, it's not easy to teach. So even with ChatGPT, you can can write out the kind of conclusion you want or not. Yeah, correct. Okay, so this one, I give you all a little bit more clue. I draw the shape here. Okay, you all can go and try. Yeah. So you need that kind of very, very, very nice, very fuzzy, very, like wrapped around you.
Yeah, especially given this is a Chinese New Year story, you want that even more.
Oh, yes.
Right? Yeah.
Correct. Especially happy endings, generally, they have this element inside. For sure have this element inside. Okay? Then 3. What else? We make 4 lah. Let them guess 4. So what else can we have here? Suddenly now I cannot remember one. Wait. So we have this, we have this one, and then the next one that we can have is how do I explain that? Sometimes it's at the paragraph in front, start R.
Ah.
But you can actually put it at the back there, right?
Well, it's hard for primary school, but it's possible.
Possible, right?
Possible, yes. Because it ties in a little bit with number 1.
Or either can it be something that represents the future? So-called like how to put it? Something that you aspire to do.
You can, definitely, yes.
Can, right?
Yes.
Okay, so this one we give it to you lah. So the aspiration for future. So sometimes in the conclusion itself, you could paint a possible future, a positive future for the particular character, especially after you have your lesson learned, and then you have the second element here, okay, which is not cold, not cold. This one very hot. So you all can try and guess the word here, okay? Yeah. This one is a very, very warm kind of feeling.
In fact, for primary school writing, you need this thing, the fourth thing for a good conclusion. You must think, what are you writing about? That's very important.
Oh, yes, yes. The one start with T. Correct, right?
Very, very important. Yes.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. This one.
You must type.
Yeah. Otherwise, wait, later you will be seen as out of point.
You go off track easily.
Correct. Okay. So actually, right, when we talk about story writing itself, come. This one, anybody able to guess?
I don't see many comments today.
Yeah,
No.
correct.
I think we can give them the answer.
I think we give people the answer lah.
Yes.
Okay, so this one is moral. So generally moral of the story. I can see Jin O already.
Yes.
Yeah.
I see a lot of questions just now on the face too.
Okay, so the next one, right, is supposed to make you feel good. That means to say a good story ending is supposed to make a person feel good. Generally, even when you go to movies, right, they try to achieve that actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct. So when
You don't
walk out
really
the-
like cliffhangers.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible ending, but
Ah.
depending on the story and the theme that you're writing, some plots are not suitable for cliffhangers. And not
Correct.
for this for sure.
Correct.
Okay.
So come, heartwarming. Yeah. So you want that heartwarming element, so-called that touching element inside. Okay.
Like Chinese New Year is feel good. You have
Correct.
to write a feel good story.
Yeah, so imagine, right, the you know, you struggle with bringing the plant home. You know, the plant broke, you're sad, and then you tried so hard to convince your father, but eventually, imagine it was your dad who salvaged the plant for you
Oh,
and still make it into a table plant for you.
wow.
Ah.
That's a nice touch.
Correct. So at the end of the story itself, right, it's like, the person who opposed me, and you know, my dad was the one who actually kind of like quietly support me. And at the end of the day, he actually put the plan together. Yeah, so your vision, your father actually materialized that vision. So actually, that's what we mean by a heartwarming ending. So that's how we actually work together to come up with
Yeah.
stories actually. Yeah.
I suddenly had this image of the boy opening the car door, walking out, and then realized half the plant is back there.
Yeah. Then, so heartbroken. Yeah.
Right, because you went in with the 1.8 and then you walk out with, oops, only the front part.
Yeah.
Where's the rest of the long body?
Yeah, correct. Then the whole plant is just kaput. Yeah, okay. Then of course, at under examination condition, right? This is something no amount of AI can help you when you're sitting in the examination hall yourself, okay? Which is the topic. You
need
must
to tie it
always
back.
round back to the topic.
Yes.
Yeah, link it back to it. Yeah, so this one very, very important. Actually, when we do live at this time, right, we also know that no students here. We are actually
Yes, they're
trying
in
to
school. They're in
correct,
school.
they're in school. We're here to chit chat with parents actually. So if let's say there are adults and parents here, you want to kind of like just ask questions about how to write compositions for your kids and all that, yeah, feel free to ask us. Okay, then the next thing is we wanted to share basically like all the little observations that you make during the Chinese New Year visiting or even during the preparation to Chinese New Year itself is actually lesson moments that we can kind of inspire the
Yes.
kids to make certain observations and then turn them into stories. Yeah, actually these are things that matter. So just now we were saying, right, like when you 拜年, you know, like I don't know how many kids these days struggle with Chinese.
Don't even say kids. I'm an adult. I struggle.
So how is it that you could actually offer the greetings in a very accurate and gracious manner such that you don't end up embarrassing yourself or creating a very odd and environment during the 拜年 process itself. So that could actually be a story also,
Yes.
story of embarrassment. Yeah. So those are things that we think about. Then we also share with you festive wheels. So we want to show them.
Yeah, you're supposed to guess what's the wheels.
Yeah, correct.
Have you?
So actually, Festive Wheels was inspired by a story that we saw on newspaper. Correct. I remember seeing that newspaper article. It was this pair of kids who gave up their ang pao to buy something for this pair of elderly
Elderlies,
friends.
yes.
Friends. I
Yes,
remember
correct.
they're not even a couple. Correct.
Yeah.
So it was this lady who is wheelchair bound. So her I mean, as in they are both very, very old. And then her friend actually, I think, stays near her. Correct. And help her out, like, because she's immobile. So she's always wheelchair bound. So the friend will actually be the one bringing her around. But the wheelchair is actually
A very old-fashioned model. You know, wheelchairs, there's also different series, right?
correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some are the authorized, so automobile kind, your
motorized
motorized kind, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then there's the wheelchair that you have to push. But even the wheels, there's different types
Correct,
of
correct. You
wheels
have the
and
big
handles,
wheels, you have
bigger
the
size,
small one.
smaller
Yeah,
ones, the very
correct.
basic ones as well.
And Singapore, actually, not all places in Singapore is wheelchair friendly. Frankly, I think it took a while for the buses all that
Yes, to have the ramps and all that.
Yeah, correct. So Festive Wheel is actually about a pair of kids who actually donated their ang paos to buy a brand new wheelchair for this pair of I mean this elderly lady lah. Yeah, to enhance her mobility actually.
Yes.
Correct. So
because it's a rickety old wheelchair, it was difficult to push, in fact, especially for another elderly. To push an elderly sitting in it is even tougher.
Correct. So like when you plot the story itself, we need to kind of like create an opportunity where the kid actually saw that happening, or either the kid actually saw the newspaper and all that. But you see, when kid reading newspaper, that's a very difficult paragraph to write.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. We don't encourage that. Yeah. Correct.
I mean, there's many ways to write a story. Just now, the one we shared is one of the more traditional structure. We start with the climax. With the introduction here, which is more of like a setting of IKEA description of the place.
Correct.
So this is what we call one of the most standard way to start a story. Okay, but there's of course many ways that we can even write this Pussy Willow story to start with a different scene.
Oh yes.
Yeah, we don't have to start with that initial scene of descriptive of the mall.
When you are a much capable, I mean, as in when you have the kind of level of writing that you can achieve, right? You could actually start with in the scene of the car, and then you just solve that break.
That's one way. Actually, for me, I will start with the feel-good part of seeing that Pussy Willow in its grand glory in IKEA itself and how you were mesmerized by that plant. So we'll go straight to the descriptive of the plant itself.
Oh, that's also
then you
another way to
contrast
start.
it at the ending where it's all broken and torn. Wow, that's imagery will be really interesting.
Correct.
Yeah.
So all these are actually what we call writing techniques. And the thing is, it's very difficult to teach it to a kid like that. It's a lot easier when you teach it in a story context. So imagine here, right, this story will be called the IKEA plant. Yeah, or maybe the, what can I call it?
And it's good to call IKEA plant because you can change this to a different plant, in fact.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Imagine a Christmas tree next, right? If it's a Christmas story, then you change to a Christmas tree.
Correct. So basically, I think every story that you choose to discuss or teach our students, we actually will put a title to it. So for any parent out there, if let's say you decide to come up with a story and then you want to share it with your children, right? It's important you put a title to it. It's a package, it's marketing, You must package it nicely.
It's easier for them to remember.
Yeah, a lot easier. It's just like, how do I remember my Japan trip? Imagine I've gone to Japan, let's say 10 times, right? Very difficult, but do you remember the Japan trip that we saw the fireworks at a certain place? So your memory anchor to certain events that happen at a specific location, that will definitely help to pull back all the colors, the imagery, or even the details that you want to put into the writing itself. So that thing matters a lot actually.
Yeah.
Okay,
so let's go back to Festive Wheels.
Yes, Festive
and so we
Wheels.
were saying that it's about a pair of kids who use the ang pao money, to actually do a good deed. In this case, charity, right?
Yes.
Okay, so have any of you thought about what you'll be doing with your red packet money this coming New Year? Or would you want to share with us how have you spent your previous Chinese New Year red packet ang pao money?
Wow.
Have anyone done a good deed before using a red packet money?
I haven't.
Okay, I think for most kids, right, your parents will just tell you, at the end of New Year, give me all your red packet money because I'm going to bank it all in for your future.
Yes, correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes, so that is the most traditional way that parents will handle the ang pao money for children. Okay, I do that too for my own kids as well. But the children will always have this one request.
Can I have some money?
Yes. Can I have some of it?
Yeah. So that I have the freedom to spend, right?
Correct. Yeah.
then when you take that sum of it, right, how many of you actually use that sum of it to do a good deed? So I think this is one way. I mean, okay, stories are not always real, but I think this is one way to kind of like encourage students to rethink about, you know, even if you
Yeah.
have the liberty to have that kind of money, what is it that you could possibly do with it, lah? Okay,
And in fact, there's such a, I don't know, so is it called taboo, but you're not supposed to do something with a red packet.
Oh,
Right,
means
you're
you're
not
supposed to keep
supposed
it,
to,
right?
yeah, you're not supposed to actually open it up.
Oh yeah, correct,
and then start
correct.
counting
Yeah.
yet.
By right lah. I mean,
By
it's in
right,
traditions they believe that you're supposed to hold it for 15 days, I think,
Yes.
until end of Chinese New Year, right?
Yeah.
But in Singapore, our Chinese New Year 2 days only.
So
Yeah.
most kids, right, sometimes they will straight away open and check out the amount of money inside. I mean, of course, you don't do it in front of
Elders
this or in front of the person who just give it to you. It's very rude and disrespectful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that one can write a story also.
Of course. Imagine just go, thank you, and then you straight away,
Wow.
oh, no, hey, how come this amount only? Wow.
Oh.
Wow, that's really a rude kid.
That's why ang pao better.
But in our you see the amount of money, straight away the value.
But mommy, daddy see ma, not you see ma. Correct, right? Yeah, correct. But anyway, yeah, I can imagine the ang pao one, I think can write into a
Yeah.
story. Yeah.
So the checking out of the money is similar idea to what we have in festive wheels, because the kids were actually counting the money in the car itself.
Oh, yeah. I suddenly
Okay.
remember that. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
By right, they shouldn't. It's not right, although it's in front of parents, okay?
Yeah.
But they started counting the money.
So they got very excited about the
Yeah.
amount of money that they have, and especially it's like Cribs new notes and all that.
Yes.
Yeah, so you can imagine all the kind of description. Okay, so let's take a very, very quick look at it. So basically, okay, so this was something that we were inspired lah. Okay, so basically you can see this elderly lady, okay, and then in a wheelchair and everything. And how do we describe this elderly lady? So this was part of the story actually. And we used Chinese New Year as the the background context, because we wanted to highlight actually how kids could make use of ang pao money to do good things. Okay.
Especially when you start out with something not so good, because you started counting the money, which wasn't the right thing to do, but then you end up using the money for a very good cause.
Correct.
Yeah. So you can have the contrast in the story plot like that.
So we can show you, this one.
Okay, this is a very basic plot here. It's not a full plot. Okay.
Okay, so I mean, we also take this opportunity. So basically, children were actually busy counting the money inside the car itself, and that's when they actually saw others who require their help. And I think in social media we see quite a fair bit actually. Yeah, we see young people actually, helping elderly to cross the road and all that. So I think this is a story which not a lot of children would experience doing that.
Yeah.
So what happens in class, we teach you what is it like. So if you were to really make the move to go and help. Yeah. So because you never actually done it before, so sometimes kids may struggle to describe that. Yeah. So that's why you need help lah, in short. Whether you choose to write it yourself at home, or you choose to get help from your parents, you need to be able to, articulate what is it that you imagine, like getting off the car, approaching a stranger, offering to help, such that the stranger would immediately reciprocate and accept your assistance, correct?
Yeah. And like just now we mentioned, we were not right about how you read it in the newspaper about someone needing help, then you do the good deed, because it stretches your story to make it a bit more redundant, and it's hard to plot it out. So to have something happen immediately, that means you see it, you do it, it's something a lot easier for context of writing.
Correct.
And it's definitely realistic as well, because people do that.
It's a lot easier.
Yeah.
Okay. So generally what happens is we'll teach the plot. Okay, so the plot here is basically parents approached elderly couple and assisted them. So children actually stop counting, look up. So you can see here, right, what we did for this particular story is we actually make parents basically the visual example. Yeah, rather than kids having that initiative to just jump out of the car and immediately go and help.
Because
Very
you're
rare.
parents, you have to ask permission no matter what.
Yes,
Right?
correct.
Because the parents are going like, why are you running across the road? Jumping out of the car.
Yeah
It's
lah.
so dangerous.
Correct. So for primary level, actually, we teach this. Okay. Then, of course, I mean, as in the rest of the story, in short, the kids eventually donated their ang pao money. Okay.
Yes.
To actually help this elderly have a brand new set of wheelchair. One whole brand new set, right?
Yes, it's a brand new wheelchair.
Correct. So maybe we just share which paragraph would you like to share with them, Miss Agnes?
Maybe the part about where they gifted that wheelchair itself and how the elderlies reacted to them when
they gifted that wheelchair, huh? Okay, I think it should be here. Yeah. Okay, so this part will do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
Come.
the paragraph, correct.
You will have the privilege of hearing Miss Agnes read for you.
Okay. Dad, how much does it cost to purchase a brand new wheelchair? He finally spoke. Will my red packet money suffice? Instantly, Ira wiped her tears away and smiled, volunteering to chip in as well. In response, Mother took a left turn and drove to the nearest hospital. She smiled with a twinkle in her eye and Father nodded. Pride beamed on their faces at the knowledge that they had children with such generous hearts. In no time, the family was driving back to Opera Estate with a wheelchair in the boot. Although their gold-embellished red packets were empty, their hearts were full. A unique, indescribable emotion filled their hearts. It was warm and tingly, yet as quiet as a stream.
Okay, so you can see, so this one actually, this is okay. So this is what we mean by all the heartwarming elements and then the actions and all that, okay?
You know, a good deed is just a quiet action as well. It's a feel-good thing.
Correct. Okay.
So it's a fuzzy, warm feeling, but it's quiet.
Yes. It's just quietly being very kind, you know, and you're not looking at everybody knowing it and all that. Yeah. So to be able to articulate that in a story itself is actually quite challenging. Okay. So yes, so there's one story that we teach our students, which is Festive Wheels. Okay. So today we actually covered 2 stories with you guys. Okay. We wanted to cover a bit more, but I think maybe y'all let us know what kind of stories you want to hear from us. Okay, we showed you one creation process of how we come together to create a story together, just simply via chit-chatting.
Yes.
Okay.
Do that with your friends too and see what stories you come up with for Chinese New Year perhaps.
Correct. I think I can imagine a lot more. I can imagine like, you know, even performing.
Tons of it. The new clothes thing, I have tons of stories I can think of from my childhood too.
Correct, man. Yeah. So I
we
think,
said comedy, embarrassment, of course, feel good stories.
Correct. I think overeating also. When you are, you know, like when you.
I have one story. Not they tell me about it. Indigestion. Yes.
Yes. So it's like you go to different relatives' house.
I always only eat curry chicken.
So imagine like, you know,
lunch
like,
curry chicken, dinner curry chicken. What happens at night?
Or either like, you know, you just hug the pineapple tart container every time you go to a different relative's house, and then you just wipe clean the entire container of pineapple.
No.
You just imagine the amount of like dairy that's inside the butter. And pineapple is actually can cause diarrhea, you know.
So what happened to our throat?
Yeah, correct. Or either bakwa. So describing the bakwa and all that. Okay, so I think overeating is definitely one. I think not being able to speak properly with elderly. So like the communication, I think hard of hearing and you start shouting. Imagine like in the Chinese New Year, like in your relative's house when you know there's music playing and everything. Initially got music and then grandma trying to talk to you, but grandma cannot hear you. Then you start shouting louder and louder.
I think another version can be if you have a foreigner friend who's here for the New Year and they try their best to blend in with the culture. So they start using all these words, but then you go like, oh no, it's so wrong. But how to tell the person is wrong?
Correct.
Yeah.
So I think that can work also. A foreigner friend like dress all black. And you know, appear to do 恭喜发财. That can also be quite a story to
write. And they start giving out red packets too.
Or either I can also imagine a story about lion dance.
Yes.
So imagine like getting the lion dance to come to your house, and then you are supposed to kind of like set up certain, you know, we need to set up
There's some things to do, and you're supposed to catch certain things and all that.
Correct. Like you need to put up oranges or some lettuce and all that for them to do certain things. Imagine if the orange had gone bad. Oh, so the minute he peels the orange, right? The smell. Or maybe the chair that he was supposed to stand on topple. So all these are funny stories that can be written actually. So Chinese New Year have a lot of things to observe, and there are a lot of possible stories that can be written. Okay, so I think that's what we have today. So if you are interested to find out all these stories, maybe just let us know, and then we can form it into maybe static posts or short little videos to teach everyone. Yeah. Okay, so I think we have spent a good 2 hours with you guys already. So thank you very much for joining us. Okay,
thank you.
I hope you have benefited something from our little life today. Okay, bye-bye.
Yep, bye-bye. Look out for our new decorations.
Yes. Okay.